As you can see, I'm recording. So, cold opening today. We are back in the post-apocalypse. And Sir Wiggum and Chief Disco Wiggum Stew and Simon Pig Beerman's brother are leading their child army to war with the Moleman. Maude is in love with Salmon Pink Beardman after Ned was blown up from a piece of dynamite up his arse, etc., etc. Would you like to be Sir W? Chief Disco Stew, Something I Mean's brother, Child Soldier Rod, Maude, Moleman, Saisha Rahim, Maude, Salmon Pink Beardman.
I'll go for Disco Stew, Maude and Rahim.
And action. You're the king, so you gotta speak first.
I'm the king?
Yeah, you're Disco Stew.
Oh, he's referred to as Chief Disco Stew though. Everybody all around, gather and dance.
Oh,
because
will you just get on with it, please?
Tomorrow we go to war. Oh no, today we go to war. Sorry, my watch is wrong.
You said that yesterday. Oh, well, Disco Stew, as much as I love you now, you are chief. I can't stand by while you let us all go to war.
Okay. Sarah, what do you think, Maude?
All I care about is love, and I am in love with the Salmon Pink Beardman.
That's right. We are in love forever and ever. Oh, good Lord. What's that? It's
Today
me.
we go.
Said that bit. It's me on my smash. I'm here on my giant ball for rock you right up. Isn't that right, Sideshow Rahim? You're damn right. I wouldn't. And that's what you say. I say I would.
I wouldn't.
I'm wood.
Oh, what are we going to do, everybody? The war is here.
Send the children in.
I'm Rod. Let's tear out the ball hearts and bring back trophies for our mothers and wives.
Let us go to war.
Today we go to war. War with Moleman.
I've got you, Rahim. I, Salmon Pink Beardman, will not stand by while you attack these child soldiers. How about having this wooden spoon in your gullet? I'm moving it around so it really hits all the organs.
I wouldn't.
You look a lot like... You look a lot like...
Who? Oh, I wouldn't. I am your father.
What? Brother, come over here. Salmon Pink Beardman's brother, come over here. He says he's our dad. He does look a lot like our dad, what we've not seen for a long time. Are you sure you're our dad?
I would be sure.
Oh, he's dead?
Yes.
We've killed him. And Moleman's only bloody got away.
Sorry, was I not supposed to blast his head off with a shotgun?
Oh, Maude. No sugar. Look, Moleman's escaped with Todd and Cosine. Oh, look around, SPB. Everybody is dead. The war is over.
The war is over and there are no victors.
Chief Disco Stew, are you dying?
Yes, but eat my legs. They taste like alternative bacon. They do, Maude. They bloody do. Taste them.
Right.
Cardboard. Garbage. I'd rather just eat the pigs.
Enough of this. Let's go find Todd and avenge the deaths of all these. My brother who died off screen.
You rest now, Chief Disco Wiggum. Today we go to war.
Today we went to war. And it was delightful. Maude, it's a Maude Goodman cat. She's purveyor of the BBQ Virtuos. She's the cousin to the Tinker Turnbull stuck in well long time ago. Happiest man and saddest man. She's got questionable clothes changing powers and appears 3 times in the bleachers. She's a straight woman and villain, unflustered by serial killers. It's the Maude Flanders Goodman episode podcast, season 7, episode bloody 2. Who would have believed it?
We're in the end game.
Also known as the mid-game.
Well, yeah, we're in the end game for life. We're in the mid game for the Maude. But this is where everything. This season was where everything changes, and what we have come to know for 7 seasons will be flipped on its head somewhat.
Forever, but really forever. But enough about that. We're waiting at this bloody airport for Roswell to come back after she flew home after last week's episode.
She said she'd be here at like 3:30. So what's that? Like 10 minutes. So
9 p.m.
Yes, exactly. While they're waiting for her to get here, I'm just going to go and urinate and defecate.
Oh, she's only bloody turned up, and Zaz just gone as well.
I think you're Roswell.
I think I am as well, aren't I? Oh, can I have $4,000 from you, please, to cover my expenses? There's a flight back to Denver in 10 minutes. If I don't have $4,000 by then, I'll be on it, and you will pay for that too. Oh, Anna McCabe and Dad, we're going to have to sell our clothes and our belongings. Does anyone want this Mr. Pinchy soiled trading card? I'll give you 20 pounds for it. Oh, we're almost there.
Yeah, I'll give you £3 for that Poochie umbrella.
All right, we've made $4,000, Maggie. Here it is. Oh, about bloody time too. We're just going to the bathroom.
Where's everybody? Oh, Margaret, Roswell, you're here. Where did everybody go? I was just in the bathroom.
We'd like $4,000 from you, stranger.
Again, but okay.
Can we get out of here at some point? Do we have to buy another ticket or something?
So I have a private jet, actually. Now you mention it. So we can just go back to the UK, which I assume is what our plan is.
I'm confused as to why you're back from Springfield, but I'm more confused as to how you've managed to get yourself a 1980s or 90s private jet.
There's a lot of things you don't know about me. Roswell, what have they killed off that boring ginger one yet?
What are you talking about? All my characters are the best. But better than that, what's that other one called? Patrice O'Neill. Better than her.
Yes, the dead diabetic comedian Patrice O'Neill.
Oh, is he dead? Didn't know he was sick.
He's long dead. Oh no, he's still alive. It's the 90s. But yeah, just a couple of hints now that I am your financier anyway, and Maude's got a few more voices left in the chamber before we try and make a less of a god-bothering, judgmental cow. How's that for a slice of fried gold?
Enough talk. Let's get in the bloody jet. All right, come on, let's get in. It's time to go back. Let's finish this adventure in episode 2.
Just let herself into my jet. She's looking around all the overhead compartments. What are you looking for, Roswell?
I'm looking for $4,000. It's what I need to pay my expenses.
Oh, you mind, bitch.
Cut to the grounds of Oral Roberts. You have to do this as a voiceover. Can you do it? Can you do a voiceover voice? I know who can.
Meanwhile, on the grounds of Oral Roberts University in Tulsa, Oklahoma, a man named Choggy Mandibles awakens.
Rob McLeod could do this bit.
I was just going to say.
He clearly does not know how to communicate with words. Only emotion-based grunts and noises. He is completely knackers.
Beep, 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 beep.
Hello?
Hello. All right, settle in. It's time for the show to start. Hello, Goodman morning and kimono pushed out of the way. Reschedule the nosh of your parameter, dense being. Close your eyes and roleplay Space Jesus Apple Sunderland, identifying an attacker, activities of the Holy Father Pope. All hail corporate imperialism. Sponsors. Vanilla, 90s girl band for a bet and subject of Jacques Derrida's upcoming biography biopic. Francis Potter, Alison Potter, Alida Swart, Sharon Selby, and on the promotional single Realize, temporary member Ashley.
Sponsor, Ab Onion, the Scottish parrot who punched a friend on the X Factor.
Sponsor, Vince Vaughn and Carlton Fresh Prince on the Republican actors campaign trail. Lastly, it's important to know that Uncle Phil identified as a Republican during the show, but he ran as a Democrat in the Superior Court.
Sponsor, nuggets of all varieties and forms. Golden, chicken,
Clark.
defecation.
Give me a number between one. Worst sponsors ever. Give me a number between 1 and 360.
Vivacious. 212.
212. I'll just get that one for you. I'll just get that one for you. Maude loves Todd more than Rod, the Todd dog.
We've done that one before.
Doing it again?
Yeah, we are. I would have been inclined to agree before today's clips. However, she does something today that shows that she does value Rod's safety just as much as Todd's.
Interesting.
But she does, I don't know, I think she has a little bit of an affinity for Todd, whereas Rod is just her son.
He's just my son. The other one is a son I love.
Yes, Rod is a factual son. Todd is a son of love.
He's a practical son.
She likes Rod, don't get me wrong. But Todd, there's just something special about Todd and his damn ways.
There certainly is. Welcome to the Maude Flanders Internet Museum theme park database, and currently being real fixed up by the fruity scent of lemur stink flirting. Welcome. 23 minutes over Tokyo. 30
Wrong.
Minutes over Tokyo. There's a reference to the war film 30 Seconds Over Tokyo, which is about dropping the atomic bombs on Japan. So not a particularly sensitive opening. Click
Yeah,
one.
that's. I did not know that.
Kitchen pink, naked kitchen, always pink. Ned in nightgown and cap at table, pouting and pouring pink milk. He is dressed. Homer's dressed as a burglar, all in black. Ned is protesting. Now, Homer, I can't have you in here burglarizing every time you've got a bill to pay. Shameful. Homer hangs his head. I know, sir. I'm sorry, sir. As Ned drinks the milk, Homer tosses their cutlery in his bag. Cut. It's just that you and Maude live like royalty in your fancy castle, while I've got Marge trapped over there like a pig in a mud beehive, he says sadly. Oh, we're not as well off as you think. We give to 8 different churches just to hedge our bets.
Revelation.
Revelation after revelation.
It's a nice season finale. This is the season 10 finale episode. So this is our last full season clip. No, clip 2 is of a full season where Maude is alive for the entire thing. It's nice to just get a season finale reminder of Homer's disregard for the Flanders family.
Do they really live in a castle?
No, they live in a house that I imagine, given that it's next door to Homer's and Marge's, that it's probably exactly the same.
It does change a lot, though, and Ned has been able to add a lot of different rooms, but surely Ned's money from the leftatorium and the fact that Maude, as far as we know, doesn't have any full-time employment. How could they be better off?
Well, Ned goes on to say after this that the Leftorium isn't doing well since Leftopolis moved in next door. And the Leftorium eventually does shut down. Like, that business dream does die. And spoiler, Ned becomes Bart's grade 4 teacher.
That doesn't sound desperate.
No, it's more that they've run out of people. It was either that or bringing in another new teacher.
How long does he keep that job for?
I believe he
Single
still
episode.
has it.
Why is he still Bart's teacher?
Well, Edna died, didn't she?
Like 6 seasons ago.
They needed a teacher. Edna died a decade ago now.
Wow.
Same. Is Ned eating a midnight snack here? And is he doing it away from Maude to not tempt her? Do you think he
looks
knows?
like it. But you know what it is. It's like his midnight snacks at like 9 p.m. or something like that. That'd be the joke.
Yeah, and it is just going to look to things like bread.
But he's got some milk. He's indulging.
That's true. No water on the side today.
Now is it? It is milk in that jug, I think, right?
I believe so.
carton.
Maybe eating cookies as well, not bread.
He is eating cookies. He's eating cookies and milk. So there's no way he's doing that in front of the fam.
this sort of scene changes everything for Homer depending on his sincerity as well. Like, if he's being sincere in what he's saying to Ned, then his admiration for Maude is a lot higher than we'd ever given him credit for. It's more aimed at Ned, but he sort of looks up to them. But if he isn't being sincere and he's just sort of playing up to Ned's niceness to avoid getting in trouble for burglary, then it doesn't really change anything. It's just him playing Ned. And I would say it's probably more likely to be that given what happens in clip 2.
I think it is quite sincere, though, in that, you know, I think he probably does, without any evidence whatsoever, believe that Ned Ching has more money and things than them. We know from the Grimy episode he doesn't appreciate what he's got.
Yeah, and he does. There's always been, that's the mainstay of the Simpsons Flanders thing, isn't it? That every time Homer looks across, it seems like Ned's or the Flanders are having a better experience.
Aye.
Except for when that changes dramatically sometimes. And
repeatedly.
Ned loses his entire house to a hurricane or 2 wives to death. I would like to know what the 8 churches are.
Are they 8 different denominations? Because you wouldn't really be hedging your bets if you gave to 8, like whatever denomination they are, Anglican or whatever. If you just gave 8 to 8 different Anglican churches, there's no way that's hedging your bets.
They have to be within a denomination that refers to them as churches. So we're ruling out other religions, basically, aren't we?
Mosques and temples, they're out.
Exactly.
Synagogues.
Maybe it's the African American church that we saw Raheem and Hibbert at.
That would
Maybe
be
that's
2.
one of them.
That would take them to 2. What other churches do we know in the Springfield area that maybe they go to?
I don't believe there are any within Springfield itself. However, that doesn't mean that they're within this. They could just be giving money out to, they could be sending money to the churches that, say, Marilyn and Frank, etc. go to, or, Serena and Jiggly, wherever they are.
Serena and Jiggly, we'll get to those later.
But, so it seems that this episode is implying that the Flanders are in financial trouble, and I think that genuinely goes, this is the last example of them being in financial trouble that I can think of. So maybe Maude had a slammer of a will.
Maybe Maude had taken out quite the life insurance policy.
Maybe somebody had.
I'd like to hear more about that. I know a certain brother with 17 children who I don't think it would be out of belief that he took out a life insurance policy. But whether or not he would have worked with Morgana, their cousin, to bring an end to Maude, who knows?
All I'm going to say is it seems like the money went back to Ned, Rod and Todd. No more imagination Christmases for them.
No more dipping.
No,
but Clip 2.
She wasn't in that.
She was mentioned briefly. The Simpsons are in the airport waiting on standby as Marge and McGaggy are Honolulu'd up. Bart is a vampire. Lisa Beret and Homer is 15% more rastified. He has a nice Rasta hat and a medallion saying "One Love." Announcement: Flight 605 to Tokyo is ready for departure and has 4 available Mega Saver seats. No, not Japan, Jamaica, says Jamaican man Homer. I want to pass the Dutchie on the left-hand side. Never mind, Lisa says. Looks like the Flanders are going to snatch up those seats anyway. Kawaii Maude with her hair tied up. First time, I add, is wearing a delightful pink kimono, while the boys have blue yukatas on, and they're all wearing tabi, the wooden shoes, and they make their way. Maude is looking back and smiling as if to say, this is going to be a dream vacation. Homer is incensed. Oh, so Flanders, who does Flanders thinks he can steal our vacation? Homer grabs the dude out who's driving the airport cart and leaps in. It says courtesy cart. He floors it, beeps his horn and blasts past the Flandroids. Kawaii Maude is smiling until they get past her and hit and seem to force her out of the way. They have tickets and they are literally ready to get on the plane when the Simpsons, who have no tickets, blast by them. Maliciously, Homer says, "Sayonara, sucker." Lisa waves, "Biatch." Marge looks slightly disconcerted. Bart simply hisses and shows them his vampire teeth.
Exactly. Great job of describing that scene. Added a lot of dramatics to it. There's a lot that I could have cut out, to be honest, but I left it in purely because of the voiceover on the tannoy is Roswell, and that's got to be one of her last lines before the accident, the $4,000 accident. So I don't think we don't get any Helen, Hoover, or Luann now in season 11 before we just get maybe one or two more Maude lines, and then it's MMG comes in. So this is one of Roswell's last appearances as a non-Maude character. I thought
A
it was
non-speaking non-Maude
yes,
character.
exactly. Well, she does speak because it's a voiceover. I have no context for what they're wearing is. What the Flanders are wearing is accurate, but I will say they get a pass because it's a cartoon. But if this was real life, it would be a bit much to turn up, not even on the holiday at the airport, in a full appropriated outfit. And then I noted that the last time I flew to Japan, I wore oversized paint-stained jogging pants and knee-high flight socks and Crocs.
I don't remember what I was wearing last time I flew, but you don't normally see foreigners rocking up at the airport in full kimono and gear. But you know what? The Japanese would accept them with open arms. They'd say, good work. We like your style. So I don't think, and actually, they're quite light and airy. So yukatas are made of cotton. They're the summer ones. The boys and Ned, they're actually set for the nice long flight. But the kimono is bound quite tight and it's made out of silk, so that would not be comfortable really for traveling quite as much. So I think the boys and Ned would have had a better flight, but Maude would have gaman, as they say in Japan. Obviously, she would have just put up with it.
Yes, that would have been uncomfortable. However, I agree that when they arrived, this would have been an experience they could have had as part of what I'm going to call cultural appreciation. For example, going to a specific place like that one temple in Japan.
Oh, that one. Are you
what's
referring
that?
You're referring
Is
to
it Kyoto or all?
Yes. Are you referring to Kiyomizu Temple with a nice big view, or the golden one?
The first one, the one that I've been to like every time for some reason.
Beautiful.
It is very nice. If they went there, that thing would sort of be welcomed and celebrated, especially Maude's hair colour. I would say, like, I went with my friend Joanna to that temple, and she is very red-haired, and it was almost like she was a celebrity. There was a lot of Japanese high school girls who were very into her hair colour and saying it was beautiful, and she was beautiful. So I imagine Maude would have a similar experience with her.
Yes.
Lovely hair colour.
Lovely. And I mean, what do you think of the hair tied up? I don't think we've seen it before, and I don't think we'll see it again. It's a one-off.
We will definitely never see it again. I think it's very nice. I think it's a very nice change for her. This is something I've never drawn, surprisingly. That is a surprise.
Until right now, on the screen as we speak.
Essentially, yes. It is nice to see them both in instinctive parenting mode, because that little airport car would have hit Rod and Todd and caused them at least minor injuries. I noticed Neddy grabs Todd and like holds him up in his arms. So at first I thought, does Maude just left Rod? But she does pull him backwards out of harm's way. So
it's the least I could do.
As we said, factual love. I'm introducing a vaguely new thing this season as well in the clips that I will remember. It's just called spoiler, and it's just the last things that I'm picking up on. Like, for example, this one I haven't fact checked either, but I'm pretty sure that this is our last off-model Maude, where she's not in her traditional outfit with her traditional hair and face and stuff.
Right.
So this is probably our last one of that, and it is definitely her last known holiday. If they actually go, and according to a diary, they go to Osaka, but this is the last holiday. And a fun fact about me, this was my favourite episode for a long time as a kid, and I then got to watch it. I made a point of when I was in Tokyo of watching it in Tokyo,
Very
which had
nice.
always been a particular small dream of mine.
Well, that's great. And I think what we learned here is that the Simpsons are rascals and the Flanders deserved that trip. But thankfully, they got the next flight and they got to Osaka, which is arguably better than Tokyo.
Yeah, this is really disrespectful as well because they only know about the tickets and the holiday experience because of Ned. Oh, I have one of those for you. I also just sent you a little video which is funny and somewhat relevant.
Let's watch it.
Or something like that. Hey, I can do what you want. How about come a big five? Or something like that. Hey, I can do what you want.
His response. The guy's getting to do voices. And he says, how about Apu?
Yeah.
And he just goes, So they're clearly in the time of problems.
Well,
then he stumbled. Let's do comic book guy is his answer.
He's less problematic for me as a skinny man.
Exactly.
Clip 3. Season 11, episode 1, Death Clock 14 and counting. Stage, red curtains. Good evening, I'm Edward Christian, assistant VOP at Findanks and distribution Asked Plystar Pictures. Crowd cheers.
Carry on.
Cut to face forward Maude and nervous Ned collapsing fist. Dang, we should have brought the camera. Maude turns concerned.
This is a way I've just been looking. The guy's voice doesn't sound like anybody I recognised, and it's because it is not.
Who does it?
Someone called Jack Burns from the comedic duo Burns and Schreiber.
Do I know
No
those?
idea.
Doesn't sound familiar.
No, they're no Mel Gibson. To add salt to the wound of the death clock, I was wrong. I did put 3 episodes together. I've put all of season 7 back together now. And when I got to putting together season 7, episode 4 or whatever it was, I realised I was an episode wrong with the death clock. So it's actually 13.
Now, is that 14 episodes of ours or 14 of theirs?
Of theirs.
Okay, so the other 3 clips, all the clips tonight are from this episode, right? All the rest of them.
Yes.
So that's why the clock does not count down anymore.
Correct. That is correct.
I see.
See, this is a classic Maude, though, isn't it? Doe-eyed and concerned. This is a very, what I would call a season 4 Maude.
S4M.
Yes. Exactly. This is a bit of a stretch. It's sort of a very comfortable Flanders joke. We're at the point now where you don't need any more explanation as to why it's funny that Ned would be starstruck by somebody so minor, because they're just really into bland things. So it's nice that, we're that far in that it doesn't have to be explained. We don't have to be hit on the head with this joke. It's a subtle one.
It is indeed very subtle.
But I did say it would also have been funny coming from Mo or Willie. And then I went further and said, it would also be funny coming from Stu, Poochie, Doris, Database, Todd, Kashmir, Leopold, Raheem, Maggie, Barb, Cecil, or Pinch.
I'm not sure how true that statement is.
We'll ask our cousins.
Our cousins, whenever we ever find them.
Oh, yeah, they vanished. Yeah, that's it. Homer probably has the camera. I thought of not that I'm any Simpsons writer at all, but it would have been funny to pan down to Homer recording this happily with Ned's camera.
That would have been a trope for sure.
Yeah, Flanderization.
Or if Homer had stood up and farted right in Ned's face.
Exactly.
For season 12.
Mrs. Brown's voice.
Is that the kind of humour that you get in Mrs. Brown's voice?
I don't know. I've never experienced it, but I'm going to say yes.
Clip 4. Season 11, episode 1, Beyond Blunderdome. Pan to the crowd behind Christian. Marge, very loud. Is Mel Gibson here? Tiny, cute, tiny Maude looks on. Many of the crowd look angry. Mr. Burns, Diamond Joe, Willie, but Maude does not.
A nice little brief one it's funnier out of context, this. I thought it would be funnier for you because it's a very, unless you're watching the episode, it's a very obscure question to ask.
It's a weird question to ask, and it's also, it's correct, isn't it? He is actually there.
Yes, he is there, but they are lied to and told that he's not there. It's for a screening of Mr. Smith Goes to Washington that Mel Gibson has starred in, thanks to Edward Christian.
Which is the version of Mr. Smith Goes to Washington where he ends up on the table, doing the circle and firing guns into the audience? That's a different version, isn't it?
Yeah, it's this episode, but basically Gibson likes Homer's feedback, so he gets Homer to help him with the film, and Homer just turns it into a Die Hard 4 kind of act. like a badly written, badly acted action movie, and Gibson loves it. But we'll come back to that.
Problematic Mel Gibson. This is before or after he had his roadside outrage?
I believe this is before all of his outrages. This is before the holy trinity of Gibson things, which is, beating that guy up, shouting at his wife, and making the Passion of the Christ.
What about the police thing?
Which one was that?
Wasn't that where he was stopped and he was recorded saying things about Jewish people?
Oh, possibly, yeah. I remember him saying some things on the voicemail about people of
different
creeds.
Different incident. Same
ballpark.
Same delicious Gibson flavour.
Exactly.
Bitter taste in everyone's mouth.
A lot of people in this crowd are wearing pale green.
Obviously,
it's an odd, lazy choice.
There's a lot of pale green paint going around Vietnam and Korea that week.
Yes. It is a cute, tiny, ducky Maude. It's nice to get all the classics back for this last season of life.
Yeah, well, we get a classic BOTH in the next one. Don't want to give too much.
We certainly do. And also, there's a woman sat next to groundskeeper Willie I am intrigued by her. I've never seen her before this episode, and she's in this episode like 3 or 4 times in the crowd. She looks like some kind of discount Luan.
You think they were trialing her? Like, trial this person in the background, see if people like her. No one did.
She could have been Maude's replacement.
We're trying her out. We'll just give her a few background scenes, a few extra shots.
Exactly. See if she's noticed.
Well, she has been, but many decades too late.
Exactly. She'll have her day in the sun now.
Clip 5. We are in the foyer of some place. Gasp. Maude, in a horror pose, gasped. Clancy, look, it's Mel Gibson. He looks and points. Hey, everybody, rush over there. They rush. Maude has lost some ground on Ned and Clancy, as Gibson is aware of their approach, and they close in on Mel. He jumps to a stone bench. Maude has now made it front and to the side. She gets it right close, right in his Gibson face. She is moving around like mad. He does the, hi, everybody, and he holds in his anti-Semitic rants for a few more seconds. He covers Maude's face, but in the end says it all. Classic BOTH shot. Dr. Nick replies with, hey, Mel Gibson. The clip ends, but I'm sure it continues with having a go at the old Jewish guy.
Yes, it will continue next week. Now all these white Catholics love Mel Gibson in this scene. I don't know if Krusty's there, but again, he's done nothing relatively controversial yet, so it makes sense that he's still a Springfield
darling.
Yes, as a la Jackson. I think the reception, this is where it becomes difficult with time in the Springfield world, because, yes, I wonder if these people would be as celebrated if they turned up in the current day Springfield. Probably not. But I do still, even at this time, I like this time in space or whatever, I find it difficult to believe that Maude would care about Mel Gibson. Like, he isn't putting out films that she's interested in the first place.
What year was this?
This has got to be 99.
Yeah, films Mel Gibson made in 1999. He made Payback, the action thriller.
Mrs. Braveheart's voice.
Garbage. Has he made any good films, Mel Gibson? I was in Mad Max or whatever. Rubbish.
Yeah, again, Maude would have no interest in seeing Mad Max. Or Mad Max 2. Or Mad Max Thunderdome.
You know what film she would like from Mel Gibson? That one where he can read women's brains.
Oh, yeah. What women want.
Mel Gibson reads women's minds. What women want. Mel Gibson as Nick Marshall, a 2000. So actually, this was it. That What Women Want was in production, probably why they were making this episode. It's an American fantasy comedy romance written by Josh Goldsmith, starring Mel Gibson and Helen Hunt. The film earned mixed reviews. A loose remake, What Men Want, was released in 2019.
Wonderful. I imagine he wasn't in that one.
No,
he was back by 2019, wasn't he? Doing all like
Taraji E.P. Henson
Oh, yeah.
and Aldous Hodge.
The clear second choice. I believe that she was in line for Braveheart as well.
Yes.
Cocky. This is, unless we're counting Aerosmith, this is the second celebrity that she's ever met after Stephen Hawking, and they've both been in sequence for us. I can't think of another experience that I don't think of a time that Maude's been in a scene with a celebrity as themselves.
Was it not Elizabeth Taylor when she made that guy draw the picture of him?
Remember Titanic?
That's right.
Exactly. I don't think she was in that one.
Clip 5.
We're already on clip 5.
Look at this. Look at this bongo version of Edna.
Oh yeah, that's pretty weak.
In
What
fact,
I am looking forward to in season 11 is there are some very shoddy mods coming up.
VSM.
Almost
I'm looking forward
unbelievable.
to those.
It's definitely, even if it is a second celebrity encounter, it's the closest celebrity encounter. She's very, very close to Gibson.
She's
And
almost.
I wonder if she bragged to the other Goodmans after this about it.
Oh, well, I'm sure we'll find out in her diary today. She was essentially crotch height with Gibson, which is also the name of one of his movies.
Exactly. The woman is now behind Dr. Nick. I'm going to call her Pitch Black Glasses Woman. And
EBGM, let's get her in there.
In my head, she is the wife of Sam and Pink Beard Man.
Rest in peace.
Let's keep them out. Let's keep our eyes out for both of them. And Maude being blocked from our view by Mel Gibson is her most star-studded Maude block.
I think that's great. She's normally blocked by things like trees and groundskeeper Willie and tables.
Exactly. Mr. Burns once. But Gibson's a big one for her. And we're not done with him either.
More Gibson next week?
Oh yeah, Gibson will be back. And not only that, he isn't the last celebrity she'll meet in the short time she has left.
Really? You're talking about a NASCAR driver?
No, she'll be meeting a 90s songbird before she goes.
I'm looking forward to that.
Oh, she also was in a scene with Isabella Rossellini last week.
Yeah, it's all go over at Flanderson Manor.
Exactly. Rossellini, Hawking, Gibson, the Trinity.
The Trinity. All right, let's move on to some spectral speculations.
Yes.
It's been a while since we've done a few of these, although you did have that one where you had to make up all of these children's names. But this is the big one.
After the cast of Drag Race All Stars Season 6.
Oh, is that right? I didn't get that. But here's the question for us. We know that some point between them visiting Homer, and Homer having that big pile of cack in his garden, and Maude passing away, some bad stuff went down between Marilyn, Frank, and Maude, and it involved Marilyn dying and Frank no longer wanting to have anything to do with Maude. I need you to dig into that. I need you to tell me what happened.
Yeah, because that's got to be happening now, pretty much.
That's right.
Well, actually, it was a while ago that that happened. That was season 9, I think. So it's been a full season since that happened. So we could have already lost Marilyn. I think we've already lost Marilyn. I'm going to say that around the time of, maybe that's why they were going to Japan to sort of do something nice, because they'd lost Marilyn and it had hit them hard. And maybe Frank hates the Japanese. That's probably not enough for him to stop speaking to her though. But yeah, so we've lost Marilyn, I think.
How did we lose Marilyn?
It was something, I thought we established something like cholera. It was something to do with the nappies. Like it was a long-standing effect of them visiting and it being Homer's pile of shite that somehow got into her system, and then she got like an 18th century disease.
How did that happen?
I don't know. I think it's just bad luck. I think it was just something was carried over in the wind whilst Marilyn and Maude were gardening.
So the cholera went airborne.
Yeah, but it only affected Marilyn.
It's very unlucky.
It was just an airborne thing, but when it got into Marilyn, it became cholera. I don't know how it works, but let's say that's how cholera works.
And how long did it take before the cholera took her?
Well, I imagine they took, like, the first thing like they'll have done is told Magdalena, who is still alive, and she will have made the situation worse with non-medical rituals to help her.
Such as?
Like putting hot stones on her forehead. And then letting 8 cats walk all over her at the same time, and then sort of putting needles into her back and pushing her down the stairs.
Was this a long-term illness?
But clearly not. Like, I think it was probably like a month. And nobody took it seriously either, is the sad thing. Everybody was just like, oh, well, it's cholera, she'll be fine. It's like 1999 or something. Because Magdalena refused actual medical help for her daughter and just continued to do things like squeeze lemons into her eyes. She just died.
That's bad news, isn't it?
I imagine I don't think Frank and Maude were ever the best of friends. So maybe at the funeral they had an argument, and Laurie and Conrad and Garrett were sort of fueling the fire as well by taking sides and making things worse.
I'm gonna pause you there because I'm going to ask you the next time we come around to describe that funeral in great detail.
That sounds like a fine plan.
Beep, 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 beep. But right now, we're in your jet. Oh, bloody hell. Look who's behind us. It's only me, mate. And I'm going to flipping knock your block off with my nunchucks. And I'm going to kill everyone on this plane, including Maggie bloody Roswell, so she can't do any bloody more voices. And my nunchucks are going to be her T-shirt cannon.
I cannot see the plot. Let's not intervene.
Yes, let's not get involved.
Maggie, it's me again, Ian Maxstone Graham. I'm going to save you.
You bloody got no bloody chance, mate. I'm going to wrap my nunchucks around your nuts.
I will choke the ever-living money out of you with my giant hands.
Smack.
Oh, my legs. Jesus. Ow.
Oh, that was so bloody easy, mate. Weep, come on, my jet.
Well, we'll if he catches up, we'll deal with that. But as of now, let's just carry on and pretend he's not behind us. Are we all on board for that?
Yeah, can you drop me off in Denver?
Maggie, I suppose we aren't that far away. Okay, we'll take you this time. Here we are.
I would like £4,000 for the rest of the journey.
We're like 3 streets from your house.
Thank you.
It's fine. See you next time, Maggie.
I see you, Maggie. Well, that was strange that Murdoch gave up so easy and flew off in his private jet. I was a bit confused.
I thought he was still behind us.
He might be. I've not looked back. Have you got a diary page for us, Zaz? With you behind your dark glasses and your gothic hairstyle?
As much as I dislike her, I do still have a diary.
Dear Diary, today has been a lovely day. Me and Neddy have finally arrived and settled into our new home in Springfield in this state that we're in. We have quite an empty house for now. We got some furniture and some tat off my family. His parents are absolutely useless. Like, they're just a complete burden, and they live in this town as well, so that's going to be somewhat of a recurring problem, probably. Maybe not, though. I needed some supplies to make a lovely turkey dinner, so I went to the Quickie Mart, which is our local convenience store, and I met a lovely Indian man named Sanjay, and he was just very polite and sort of offensive, but not really saying anything offensive. So is it offensive? But yeah, apparently it is. Anyway, I forgot my bank card and just got really flustered. And even though Sanjay was saying, like, I'm not going to do the voice, but he was saying, like, it's okay, don't worry. We'll get you a tab if you like. But I was just too flustered for that. I thought, I can't be doing that already. I've already got a tab going at the ice cream shop and at that Maudes tavern. Not really. That would be stupid. But anyway, there was a guy in there, and he said, don't worry, I'll pay for you. I'll get this for you. I was like, what a kind gentleman. So as he helped me carry my bags to the car, I said, oh, my name is Maudlin. What is yours? And he said, oh, my name is Homer. And I said, it was lovely to meet you, Homer. Like, why don't you come round for some dinner later? We're having turkey or some shit. So he did. So Homer came round and we asked him all about his life, and he said, well, my name is Homer Gumpert. Nope, my name is Homer Glumpert, and I'm a part of a club called the No Homers Club, but I am the only one that is allowed, because there's another Homer in town, but he's a bit of a jackrabbit. We don't like him, is what Homer said to us about Homer. But we were like, well, we like you, Homer, so why don't you stay in touch and be our friend, like, recurringly? And he just kind of said no. The end.
Non-recurring Homer Glumpert friend. Was Glumpert ever in the show?
The Glumpert cast. Yeah, he was the one. He was the other Homer that was allowed in the No Homers Club.
Oh, okay, nice.
Homer said, you let in Homer Glumpert. He said, well, this says no Homers were allowed there.
Oh, yeah. You said that last week, but I didn't get it.
Yes. So yeah, that was that. I had to Google the name, which was
disappointing.
I thought it was Homer Thompson, but that's just because of
Mr.
the whole.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, that was all good fun. And now, Rupert Murdoch's on our trail and Maggie Roswell's gone home with thousands and thousands of our dollars. And you've got a private jet. Shall we finish up with a song?
Sure. Who was your phone call from?
In the middle?
Yeah.
There wasn't a phone call.
What?
It was from you?
Oh, yes. Yes, that is true. I will keep you on that wave of information. That works for me.
Keep jumping for knackfurs.
How addressing, how burglarizing.
Get the royal key a while.
8 different chucks.
Like a pig, R.E.A. opt we anting.
My gauge, he on up Lisa Beret Hermeti is 15% more ratified.
Non Sabine, flogged 6 or 5 to toy coy, easy.
Hampside Nekba Kaya Kai Maude.
To buy millings, the think cavart.
Curtains, what Findanks, Pleister, Sigustal Barotham. Jesus.
Luda Dome, Christina, pouncing buttons.
Poye, Maud, Horror, Clemency, I hey from.
Mel Gibson, everybody, Maude's classic, sip ends, having.
All the Jewish man.
The end.
The end.
We did it.
Another one in the back.
And another victory for the Maudecast team.
Exactly.